talking out loud with A.L. Cooper. She's talking out loud, but she's saying something. 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 Politics, religion, fashion, people, passion, lifestyles, no topic too wild. She's talking out loud, but she's saying something. She's talking out loud, but she's saying something. She's talking out loud, but she's saying something. She's talking out loud, but she's saying something.
Hey everybody, and you're watching Talking Out Loud with A.L. Cooper. I'm your host, A.L., and today we are talking out loud about pet companions, specifically pit bulls. Today we're asking, are they a family friend or a family foe? With summer approaching, there are so many pet lovers that are going to be out and about, and they're going to have their pet companions with them, some leashed, some unleashed. But there has been a lot of controversy surrounding one pet in particular, and that is the specific breed of pit bulls. Today we have a wonderful host of guests that are going to give us some information and discuss the pros and the cons of owning a pit bull. We're going to have people, just have a good conversation about whether it's a pet, a family pet, or a family foe. Let's just have our guests introduce themselves. So we have Miss Dr. Rebecca, or Dr. Becky as they call you. So tell us a little bit about who you are and how you feel about it.
Absolutely. So I am a licensed clinical psychologist, and I am also a life coach.
Okay.
And I own the only concierge psychology, it's called Concierge Psychology, practice in Georgia.
Okay.
So I see everyone, but I tend to cater towards a high-end group, people with special needs because of their jobs, things like that. I see a lot of people because of trauma and anxiety, which is sort of where the tie-in for me is here. When people have something traumatic happen to them, a lot of times there is anxiety that comes up around that, or even phobias that form. So I'm here to help speak to what happens after something happens and the healthiest way to move forward at that point.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you, sir?
My name is Dean, a.k.a. Cujo, founder and national president of Bikers Against Animal Abuse and Neglect. My wife and I formed this organization at the beginning of 2014 after we saw a need that hadn't been met in the South area concerning bikers and the way that we can rally together for a specific cause. What we have noticed since we've been doing this on our own after many, many years of 15 plus in the rescue world is that we've seen an influx of pit bulls recently in shelters. And the media has really taken off with some of the stories that have occurred as a result of some of the actions of a few of the pit bulls, as resulting in tragedies and whatnots. Our experience teaches us both sides of the coin, and we're here to speak both on both pros and cons of owning a pit bull.
Okay. And last but definitely not least, Top Dog here is in the house with his pet companion.
Well, I'm so glad to be here. I'm here with my faithful companion, Czar. He travels with me everywhere. My name is Blake Top Dog Rashad, and I am a dog expert. I've been dealing with dogs for, saying my age here now, over 30 years.
Wow.
I'm former U.S. Army K-9 trainer. I've trained with the City of Atlanta Police Department. I've consulted with the Police Department and Sheriff's Department. I work with corporations such as the post office and large corporations, helping them reduce some of their dog bites. My nonprofit caters to helping people, particularly kids and elderly, be safe around dogs. And through education, we have found that we can bring down the numbers, because we're looking at about 4 million people being bitten every year.
Wow.
2 million of those are children.
Wow.
So, and something as simple as education can cut those numbers in half very quickly. So that's what we are challenged to do each day. And we go out to schools, churches, and different organizations, and we talk to kids, we talk to elderly people, we talk to people with special needs, and we also talk to victims. So that's what we are dedicated to, and the name of our program is Kids and Canines.
Kids and Canines. Wow. Well, I'm just so happy to have you guys on the show today. And one of the main reasons why I felt the need to have this show is because I love pets. I love dogs, and I grew up, in a household with pit bulls. And I believe over the course of years, it's just that it's just been just this huge awareness of the breed that's come to mind, with special celebrity cases in mind, using them to fight in regards to other animals. Using pit bulls have been labeled very aggressive natured animals. And a lot of people think that that is true, but a lot of people don't. What do you guys feel? I know, Dr. Becky, you counsel people and you help people get through the traumatic experiences that they've experienced. Have everyone that's come to you in regards to being a victim of an aggressive breed, maybe being traumatized by an experience with them, has it always been pit bulls, or have there been other aggressive breeds? I mean, because I feel that most people just think it's all about the pit, and that they're the ones that are very aggressive. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. And actually, before I even get all the way into what they were, one thing I found is, pit bulls themselves are actually not a breed. It actually encompasses 4, 5, 6 breeds within there. So there's a lot of misconception right there. We're not talking about one dog. We're talking about a bunch that fit this. They generally look the same and have this shaped head, so we've labeled them that. Right. The other thing I run into is that a lot of people incorrectly identify dogs as pit bulls. And I mean, don't mean things that are similar, things like collies. Yeah. They've done a lot of going back and looking at, when people were actually attacked, and having someone who's a professional in the field go, and they say, this is not a pit bull. But people, aren't educated about dogs. Most of us can't just look at it. I don't remember what she is. Most of us don't know dog breeds off the top of our head. Right. But I have found that there is this assumption almost automatically. Oh, a dog bit? It must have been a pit bull. Wow. And so then if it's a lab or anything even remotely close, boom, it was a pit automatically. So it's actually hard for me to say even, because if somebody comes to me and says, this is what happened and it was a pit, I figure there's at least an 80% chance it wasn't anyway. So then our focus, but interestingly enough, when that does happen, it usually goes out to all dogs. People aren't just then afraid of dogs with big heads. They're then afraid of all dogs. So where I come in, I'm sort of looking at it generally. But I do try to provide that education too, so that they're not afraid to go near every black short-haired dog that they see. Yeah. Because it's not, as universal as I think we tend to make it.
Interesting. Now, Dean, you are Bikers Against Animal
Abuse and Neglect.
Yeah, animal abuse and neglect. What is your take on it? Because you guys are for the advocacy of protecting and against people abusing pit bulls because of the different things that have come up in regards to the media and information and them abandoning them, and you actually rescue them, correct?
That is correct. One of our main focuses is on the level of education, of educating the public on exactly what a pit bull is, just like Becky had said, and the fact that majority of the dog bites that make the media are labeled as pit bulls, and in reality the dog is not really a pit bull. One of the things that we've encountered over our time in our rescue doing this is the majority of the dogs that we end up having to trap outside that are considered strays that even animal control can't catch, we are able to. We've actually observed some various behaviors in those dogs, and once they are actually feel some kind of affection versus some level of abuse, they come out of their shells after they decompress for a couple of weeks, and they become some of the most loving and affectionate dogs ever. In fact, this past weekend, we actually had one that we've actually determined to be a Mastiff mix that was literally kicked out of a car into a neighborhood. And it took the neighbors 2 weeks for them to locate us or somebody that was willing to go out and try to capture this dog. We contacted the animal control in the county and told them that we have this dog. We followed every rule and every regulation that's been outlined for us as a rescue to follow. And this dog, when we first got him, was somewhat aggressive, was growling, snarling, showing his teeth. Within a matter of about 36 hours, he was crawl in your lap and lay down and let you pet him. Now, that same dog had somebody that did not know this breed, or any breed dog for that matter. As Becky said, it doesn't matter which dog. Once you're bitten, you're always shy. Had not known this dog, they would have definitely not approached this dog. We have found that not every dog that appears to be a pit bull is a vicious dog. Granted, it's like with anybody or any human, there are good and bad. And when you have the numbers of pit bulls that are being bred and they're in the population today, the chances of having more basically pit bull aggressive type dogs is higher because the numbers are higher. It's simply mathematics. Okay. When you have a million dogs, not a million dogs are going to test high and perfect. So it's not the breed specifically, it's the deed.
Blake, how do you feel about that as a dog trainer?
Well, what we need to do here is I keep up with these numbers and these studies. I follow them. I'm a dog behaviorist, so I study all breeds of dogs, and I love all breeds of dogs. And a pit bull is a wonderful dog, a wonderful dog. but we have to look at inherently what a dog was bred to do. And we can't ignore that. And using choice words like, the driver's maybe a little high, or they're spirited, or things of that nature, that doesn't do well to make the public to understand exactly what they're dealing with. We need education about working type dogs that are more vicious or more apt to bite other than other breeds of dogs, pit bulls included. When we're dealing with a breed of dog that has a past of extreme violence, then things can happen. Okay? Now, that doesn't make that dog necessarily going to bite every time you breed one of them. That's not what I'm saying. But it has a higher percentage of biting than maybe a different breed. And example is, if you take a 6-week-old or a 7-week-old Labrador Retriever, and you put it near a pond, it'll smell the water and jump in. You don't have to teach it to swim. You don't have to teach it to jump. If you take a sporting dog, a pointer of sort, and it hears ruffling in the brush, it will automatically point at 8 weeks old. You don't have to teach it. It will do it. A bloodhound will put his nose to the ground. A pit bull, as a breed of dog. Now, it is a multitude of dogs. We're talking about a dog that goes all the way back to the 1800s. That came out of Malassa family. Okay? Now, they originally started this dog as a working hand for man to control unruly bulls. Talking about a 2,000-pound animal. Okay, they would put a ring in the nose of this bull, and the pit bull would use this ring or other parts of the bull to control the bull. After a while, the bull would develop a fear of this breed of dog.
Well, what we're going to do is, you brought up some very good points, and I know there's a lot of people out there that completely disagree with each and every one of you. But when we come back, we're going to talk more about something that you said. I want to talk more about the breed, where it originated from, what it was born, what it was bred, what is its purpose. So we're going to be coming back with more of Talking Out Loud about pit bulls, family friend or family foe.